Gen Xers like myself and boomers, they sort of always go on about how difficult it was when they were younger and how they're tougher because of it and how everyone today is, you know, snowflakes or whatever. It's bullshit. John, my dear. Oh, there we go. That's okay. Oh. Hey everyone. Welcome to a very sunny, very nice Monday morning here in Sheffield in the UK. It's about 10:30. Just going out for a couple of hours to do a shift with Uber Eats and Deliveroo. Now, apologies if the title of this video was at all confusing. Despite it sounding vaguely like a Harry Potter rip-off, it's really not that. The Philosopher's Axe in the title is actually some kind of philosophical sort of problem to solve. I vaguely remember from studying philosophy years and years ago. In fact, it was my degree I did. And I suppose it's around this idea of identity and, you know, what counts as a thing, and is it still the same thing if everything's changed about it? I think the idea was that, you know, if you've got an axe and you replace all the bits on it, the handle and the metal bit and the various joints and things like that, at a certain point you would have replaced everything on it. And at that point, is it the same axe? And yeah, this whole idea of identity. Oh, it's a bit heavy going for a Monday morning, I do appreciate. But I think the reason I was thinking about it was, well, over the last week or so I've had a bit of time to do some thinking, as I'm now unemployed and, well, not unemployed, but self-employed, and give me time to think a little bit about myself, what I'm doing, and, you know, I will still be doing deliveries, by the way, but there's only so much I can say about deliveries, so I might just blather on a bit about some other stuff as well, which may be relevant or not, or interesting or not. I mean, you can just turn it down and watch it, or just turn it off. I've been wondering what the 20-year-old me would think of what the 53-year-old me has become. Am I the same person that I was all those years ago when I first started working? Have I changed? Would I be disappointed in myself, thinking, well, you know, could have done more? Because I suppose when I started working 30-odd years ago as a 21-year-old, I suppose you assume that the trajectory is always upwards. You're going to be on this kind of curve of better and better jobs, more and more money, and, you know, all the stuff that you traditionally expect, you know, the houses and the family and all that business. But it doesn't always turn out that way. And to be honest, I kind of was on that curve a little bit. I'd reached 53 and, you know, I'd had a decent career in terms of working as a teacher and then a manager, and came back to the UK after many years abroad and found a decent job at a university. But you kind of reach a point where sometimes you're so sort of deep in the work that you never really step back and think about, is this enjoyable? Is this what I want to do? And when I was offered the chance to take voluntary redundancy, that was a chance for me to really think and realise that, you know, I didn't enjoy the trajectory my life was on. I didn't like the way my work was going. I didn't enjoy the work. I spent most of my day in this sort of fuzzy haze, switching from emails to documents to meetings, and most of the meetings, a lot of the meetings seem to be about meetings a lot of the time. No, I wouldn't go so far as to say that the job I had was what they call a bullshit job. There's a book, I think, by a guy called David Graeber, who wrote a book called Bullshit Jobs, about the rise of all these sort of non-jobs, particularly at the sort of middle management level that exist. But at times I didn't feel it was far off. I didn't really feel that I was doing that much or adding that much. So the question is, would the 20-year-old me look at the 53-year-old me working as a food delivery driver for not much above minimum wage and wonder what happened? But the reality is, I've changed a lot. I've changed how I feel about work. I've changed about what matters. I'm just not sure I'm that same person anymore. Alright, I got kind of a £3 order coming in from Sainsbury's, so I'll take that. Morning. Alright, mate. You got 6595. Thank you. Alright, well, you can't get any shorter than this. This order is going 295 metres, apparently. You do get this quite a lot, especially during the day. I think a lot of people with limited mobility, social anxiety, etc., etc., they tend to order their groceries in, even if it's literally just down the road, which, you know, completely understandable. The thing is, in that Sainsbury's, and this is the thing about all Sainsbury's these days, they're constantly talking to each other in there on their sort of headsets. It's always so weird. You always kind of think they're talking to you, but they're not. There we go. Have you got your code?
Oh, let me bring my phone.
No problem. 11. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye. Okay, well, that's that first one done. Didn't take very long. Very quick. So yeah, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by my actual job, it's this whole idea of sort of, you know, identity and if you stay the same person over time. I think we're in a weird sort of time where the idea that you can kind of evolve and change over time is a concept that seems to be disappearing. There's this idea that you are sort of fixed as a particular person, set of beliefs, belonging to a group of people, and you know, that's where you'll remain forever, even if you do attempt to sort of change over time. And I think obviously the internet's had a lot to do with that. This isn't a kind of a rant about the internet. Oh, I suppose it is a rant about the internet, but it's just that we everything we do now is recorded. Everything we say, everything we write, is sort of a trail. As it wasn't true when I was younger, growing up in sort of 70s and 80s into the 90s. There was a bit more space and time to develop and change, and things you said weren't going to be written down forever and would come back to haunt you later. You know, I grew up in a pretty conservative household, in a pretty sort of conservative part of the country. Very white, very few sort of ethnic minorities living in the areas that I lived in. You know, so I think I was probably quite racist because I heard it all the time. People, you know, talked about, you know, people from Africa and India or whatever in a pretty disparaging way a lot of the time, because that was the kind of culture of that period. It's only late, and I'm pretty sure I probably said, you know, racist things at the time, jokes between, you know, friends and kids or whatever that I would shudder to think about today. But, you know, I changed over time. I travelled, I worked, I met different people and grew out of that narrow thinking. Alright, interrupt this broadcasting to go and pick up another order. This one's from the Co-op, not far from here. It's about a £4 order. Didn't see how far it's going. May have made a bit of a mistake here, but we'll see. Like I said though, normally these supermarket orders are pretty short. Alright, let's go and pick this up from the co-op. Should be a nice quick one, I think. I hope. Alright, mate.
How do?
How do? Is that it?
It's a one bagger.
It's 16 items, there's a lot.
Must be a little
Lot packed in there. Cheers. Do you want me to? Ah, there we go. That's okay. Oh. Alright, this one's not going too far. About 2.5 miles. It's about £4, I think, this order. So you can't be too fussy on a Monday morning. Kind of take what comes in, really, as long as it's not ridiculously insulting. The point I was trying to make, and I'm not sure exactly what the point is I'm trying to make, but it's something along the lines that we're in this weird situation these days. You know, decisions you make about your view of the world, your view of different nationalities, your political views, they can easily be sort of cemented in your, you know, much younger years, simply because what you said is recorded for posterity, and however much you try to change later, people will always come back and say, well, you said this, you said this about black people or gay people or trans people or whatever. They'll never be convinced that you've truly changed. It's difficult because, you know, young people are kind of foolish, and they're expected to be foolish, and they're expected to do silly things and say silly things and believe silly things, and it's only through life experience and meeting people and reading and studying that you become a better person. But it's this idea that, you know, they have to be this kind of perfect person literally from birth. It's you know, it's hard. It's hard for young people to do. Hard for anyone to do, really. But I know people like, you know, millennials and Gen Xers like myself and boomers, they sort of always go on about how difficult it was when they were younger and how they're tougher because of it, and how everyone today is, you know, snowflakes or whatever. It's bullshit. It's, you know, everything's, you know, every generation has things that make life tough for them. And for people now, especially with the internet and social media and all that kind of stuff, it's really, really tough. It's really tough to just have sort of time to develop yourself and your brain and your views of the world. And I'm glad I wasn't, you know, born into this, because I see it with my own kids, you know. And you have to be really, really vigilant about what they're posting and writing online, because anything can be kind of screenshotted, anything can be saved, anything can then be shared on. Oh, that's okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Alright, got another order coming in from Iceland. It's very close to here, less than a mile. No, I think we're going another couple of miles to the customer. It's a £4 something order, I think. It's really nice to be out today. Weather's lovely. It's a bit cold, but sunny, bright. Is that Iceland? Is the food warehouse Iceland? I think so. Alright, my dear. Where do I go for this? Oh, okay, great. Can I just take it? Yeah, great. Oh, well, that's quick and easy. In fact, it's only going about 1.5 miles, I think. Which is great. Now I'm experimenting with a new sort of camera setup. Normally I strap it to my chest, but I was noticing that, I don't know if I've just become more slouchy as time goes on, but you weren't really getting much of a view of what was in front of me, and you're getting a hell of a good view of my hands and knees and the sort of dials and speedometer on the bike. So I bought something that so I could attach the camera to my helmet. Now technically this is actually the second time I've gone out to try and do this. I actually went out the other night and tried to record with the helmet, and did a good 2-hour shift, recorded absolute pearls of wisdom I was laying in front of people, and got home and realised that essentially I just recorded my knees for 2 hours. Because one thing I didn't realise about putting a camera on your helmet is that you need to sort of angle it upwards, because I think when you're driving your sort of head is naturally down, perhaps looking at the readout on the dials and brakes and everything, so you have to kind of angle it up to get a natural view of the road. Otherwise you're just going to get a view of basically looking at down at the ground, which is essentially what happened the other night. So I'm trying a new view of a different angle now. Let's see if this works. Alright then, mate, how are you? Yeah, not too bad. There you go, have you got it? Yep. Thanks, have a great day, sir. Alright, I've got another sort of £3.5 order come in from Subway, which is not far from here. It's about 2 miles in total. Not always sure how accurate some of these numbers that Uber Eats give you. Oh. Still, it's Subway. I kind of like Subway orders. They can be a bit slow in Subway, I find. Sort of putting together the orders, which is okay. But the nice thing about Subway is orders nice and kind of flat. They sort of sit at the bottom of your bag. There's no drinks with lids on them. It's not like McDonald's or anything. Hello. Not too bad. How are you? From Uber Eats. Is it that one? Is it? Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's the one here. Thank you so much. Just stick that in there. Okay, let's get off to that order. It took a little bit of time, sort of 5 minutes to prepare. It always kind of does in Subway, because they are making it fresh there. But this is only about another mile, so another cheap and cheerful, quick order. Quite like these. So I think I've been out just over an hour. Probably made about £14-15 so far, which is okay for a weekday morning. Can't complain. Alright mate, how are you? Yeah, not too bad. Just wait for your drink. There's your drink, sir. Have a great day. Alright. Got an order in from McDonald's. It is close to here, so I feel I should do it. I'm a bit reluctant to do McDonald's orders, but what the hell, like I said, it's a Monday morning. Can't be too choosy. Okay, McDonald's just around the corner, very close to the Subway I've just been to, just across the road. Let's see how long a wait there is at McDonald's and how many delivery drivers are there waiting. Heading towards lunch, always tends to be pretty busy. Alright, mate. How are you? 6C921. Is it those two? Yeah. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Alright, let's get off to this one. It's got drinks in, so I've kind of packed them in to my little mini thermal bag, hoping they don't spill. I mean, I'm hoping the footage is better wearing the camera on the helmet, because I do feel very, very conspicuous with it on. I think when you wear it on your chest, particularly if it's a dark camera and it's on a sort of dark coat, people just don't see it, I don't think, a lot of the time, especially if you're delivering at night. But as soon as you turn up to a restaurant or someone's house with a bloody great camera strapped to your face, I mean, they inevitably have questions like, why the hell are you wearing that? Alright, well, I've earned about 20 quid for about 5 orders, I think, altogether. Less than 2 hours. It's okay, can't complain. Another order came in just as I'm on my way home, so I thought I'd do it. This one's going to Pret a Manger. It's right in the city centre. So, okay, let's try and work out where this place is and where exactly I'm picking up from. Oh, there it is down there. $33.09. This is from Deliveroo. Do you have a name? No, they don't give you names on Deliveroo. They just give you the. It's a New Yorker rye roll, shawarma, flatbread, beef and horseradish baguette. Okay, cheers. Could you put? Is it possible to put the drink separate from the food? Okay, can you? Is it possible to take that out? And I'll just stick it in here just to make sure it doesn't get, because they do sometimes spill. Have you got the cup holder? Have you got the little thing as well? If I take that, so, huh? That's fine. Yeah, yeah. Just if it does spill, at least it doesn't spill on the food, you know.
That makes sense, yeah. We try to do as best as possible.
It's tricky because, particularly if you're on a bike or a moped, you do go. There's so many bumpy roads. Yeah, I've got to scan that as well. So. See if it recognises it.
It did work last
It did, yeah, yeah. Well done, thank you. Bye. Let's get off to this. They're really nice in there. I've never actually delivered from Pret a Manger before, but they're really pleasant. But I mean, this is why I hate the city centre, really, because you can't park anywhere. Half it's in sort of pedestrianised areas, so you have to kind of go on to the pedestrianised areas, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that. And, you know, there's cameras everywhere, so, you know, I've got a terrible feeling I might get a ticket for doing that. Or you leave your bike far away from the restaurant, which I'm very reluctant to do in the city centre for various reasons. But this is a £6 order. So, and it's going quite close to where I live, so I think I'll just drop this off, and this would take me up to about £25–26 for the shift. And it's only just over a couple of hours of work, so it's really not too bad. Hello, mate. How are you? That's okay. That's the thing. Just wait for your drink. There you go, sir. Yeah. What was the number? 57. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Bye. All right. Well, that kind of wraps it up for the morning. Like I said, probably made around 25, 26 quid. Just over 2 hours work, which kind of feels decent for a fairly quiet Monday morning. Thanks for tuning in.